this meeting to order. Roll call.
Councillor Matthew?
Here.
Councillor Larson?
Here.
Councillor Kuechly?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. Reports from department heads. Public Works.
I have a couple things for you guys tonight. One thing that happened last Thursday, our starter on one of our pumps at the
Water tower
went out on us. It's something that we're gonna want to obviously fix because now, inside the pump house, there's two different pumps. One's kind of a backup, but we switch between the two every year to kind of just exercise them basically. But we went to go switch the pumps and we found that one of the starters is not working properly. So I called a guy in, an electrician, to take a look at it and go through it because it's a box of a bunch of electronic stuff. I know nothing about the stuff. So I had the guy come in who actually installed some of the stuff that's in there. And he looked at it and we don't have an actual schematic for it. And so he said in order to be able to fix it, he has to have a schematic. And then his suggestion, because it's so old, is that to just replace it with a new, more up-to-date starter. And while I was digging through some papers today, and I actually found the schematic, so I haven't been able to talk to him, just have him look at it again to see. But in the process, Wesco came to kind of look at what we needed for a starter. Looking at what we currently have, said that what we have is extremely outdated, and actually getting parts might be even more expensive than the actual changing of what we have. So it's something I still might have to dig into because I did find that schematic, so I can give it to the electrician to go through. But he has no idea what's wrong with it, and but the schematic that I found was drawn up in 1963, so it's very old. That's why it's out of date. So I don't know. I'm not positive if those are even older than 1963. If that's when it was installed, I'm not sure.
What's the cost on a new one?
Well, on the new one, a single is $5,889.02. And then to do both of them would be $11,778.04 plus cost of installation.
Are you talking making both starters the same then?
Yeah, if we did, if we could just do one right now, but eventually we're gonna have to do the other one.
Because the other one's just as old, right?
Yep.
Are we saving any money by doing them both at the same time? Would we? It doesn't sound like it from the quotes you gave us.
They're doing, no, it's not necessarily, there's no real savings to do both of them. This quote is just for the actual hardware itself, and then I don't know what the cost of installation is gonna be. So I don't know if maybe there'd be savings on the fact of just the installation of doing them both at the same time, but I don't know those numbers yet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do it in one trip, that would be that.
Yeah, we could do it in one, or we would be able to get by, because at the moment it is just the one starter that is down. So that one I suggest we do replace.
Is that just the starter, Trent, those prices, or is that a whole new?
That's a
enclosure and
the whole new enclosure, everything, and the breakers in there are old. Actually, it's a fuse box that's in there. They don't make the fuses for those boxes anymore, so we have special inserts that go on the fuses that make it compatible.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do we have any money in the enterprise fund?
Electric does.
Electric does, yeah.
And this would probably be split between electric and water, so.
How many horse motor do they?
25.
25, so they're like a NEMA 2?
Can you say that again?
NEMA 2 starter or something?
I couldn't tell you.
I think you're right. Just figuring that out quickly by the horsepower and stuff and voltage and, Is that 440 there, or is that 220?
220.
220, okay.
Have you
And it's a soft start, so it has a transformer that's within it too, so it kind of builds. It starts at low and then builds it up to the 240.
It's got a step start.
Yeah.
Trent, have you looked at other quotes?
No, and that's just,
Outfitters?
we've been busy just getting the water system back in place, and this is what's come to me right
Okay.
now.
I'll tell you what, for the price of that starter and that Wesco, that's I think it's a good thing, really.
Well, it's less then would require us to put it out for quotes, but whether or not it would be just a good idea to have.
Well, Baldwin Supply, maybe.
Yeah, I can still look to see and if,
Yeah,
just let them come up with something and then I'll take whatever's cheapest.
Okay, yeah, we
That
don't want
works
to
for you
go on too
guys.
long, because we
No.
need that backup.
Yeah.
Okay.
so does somebody want to make a motion?
But before, would you want just to do one at the time or both at the time?
This is what,
Well, what's in the funds?
There's enough to do both. If we take from the electric enterprise fund.
Is it usually kind of run-of-the-mill, say if that thing is 5,000, that starter, is it usually double the price for the installation then, total cost?
Like, it just happened last Thursday and we've been
don't know
busy
yet.
and I don't know the installation cost.
it's possible we might save some money by getting them
think so.
both done at the same time. You know, you're not
They're
going
both
to if we
old.
put them out.
And if the
So if
person's
one
there.
is bad, the other could go.
Yeah. Well, what do we want a motion on, just
To allow him to get a couple of quotes and to go with the low bid and get them both done?
Make the motion to allow Trent to get bids on the starters for the pumps.
support?
That's getting the bids.
Go with the lowest bid. What was that one total? 7?
Total for both of them is $11,778.04 for just the equipment.
Did they give any indication on how long it would take them to install?
Or to install, well, they went for the installation, they don't, but I think it said like it could be in 4 weeks. I think it's hidden here somewhere.
That's how long it take to get just the parts?
Get the parts to come in before.
In the meantime, you can check other places too, so.
Yeah. Well, we've got a motion on the table and
I supported
supported.
them, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
And then you want to talk about the street
And I'd
sweeper?
like to talk about the street sweeper.
It is an agenda item, but since you have pressing matters this evening, we could address this now.
Thank you.
We currently have designated street equipment capital, so we could certainly pay for this.
What would be the best interest on this, to pay for it in payments or to pay it off all in
Well, it kind of depends what other equipment we may be needing.
That's what I'm wondering, if we don't want to deplete that entire.
No.
And interest rates are so low right now.
Exactly.
If ever we were going to spread one out, I think now is a good time to be
Yes.
doing that.
What is currently wrong with our sweeper after the work we had done?
Currently, we have a couple hydraulic hoses, like we haven't put anything into it yet because I wanted to find a street sweeper like this in order to present it to you guys before we put any money into actually replacing what's currently wrong with it. At the moment, it needs a couple of hydraulic hoses, the main broom needs to be replaced, gutter broom needs to be replaced. I don't know what the heck I wrote here. There's a shield on the conveyor belt that's rusted off, so we have to get that back up on. That won't take too much. We could probably drill some holes and bolt it back on. And then the gutter broom drive, there's the same issues it always has every year that we have to fix that again.
What about the water tank? Is that?
Oh, well, that's, yeah, the water tanks. It doesn't have a working water system on it.
How old is ours? What year is it?
1981.
81?
So about the only thing that's good is the tires and the cab.
They're still
No, the
building.
engine's actually really good.
Almost the
And
same.
actually,
Look the same.
the trade-in value that they gave us was $1,000 for the engine. They said the rest they're just gonna scrap.
I think sending it to auction, you do far better than
That's
that
possible
trade-in
too,
value.
But wouldn't you have to send it, or just send it to auction as is? Is that what you're saying?
You could, I think hydraulic hoses aren't that.
Yeah, we could.
But I mean, those brushes aren't cheap.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't want to put on our new broom or anything when we put it to auction. And our main broom is done. We can't pick up anymore.
What does a new core run on those?
I don't know, Tony orders those ones.
I've seen a sheet on them before when they replaced that broom another time, that main broom, and boy,
Yeah, they're
it
probably
was ching, you know. You spend
the two,
pardon?
15 to 2,000.
Oh, if not more. It was spendy. It was very spendy.
What did we put into that last year, Diana, do you remember?
I got the numbers
Yeah.
here.
I think it was in 2014.
Yeah, 2014, we put $10,352.29 into it for new drive clutch assembly and various seals.
And we shouldn't have.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yes.
At the time, it seemed like the way to get more use out of it. We didn't know everything else was gonna go.
Oh, actually, for that specific repair, that wasn't the problem that we thought we were fixing. Is once they dove into it, and then they found more to fix.
Because they pretty much went through it that time.
No, it was just kind of just to get the thing, well, the whole clutch assembly. So it's got a brand new, well, two years old now, new clutch assembly in it.
Do you want to take a look at this piece of equipment?
I don't doubt that this one's a good piece of equipment. It just seems like a lot of money for what little bit we use it a year.
Well, and that's another thing you asked a couple meetings back as far as rental.
Yeah, I know the rentals are high. I did look into.
Yeah. And because we figure we use it about 5 to 6 weeks in a year. And rental for one is $1,000 a week. So it'd be 5,000-6,000 a year that we'd put into renting one.
Would it be used more if we had one with the good water tank?
Oh, I'm sure it would be. I
You know, I mean, now we're limited of when we can use the one we have now to when it's raining.
Well, even looking at this piece, you know, the year and the amount of hours that it's had in service.
I see that,
You know,
yeah.
3,600 hours and it's 11 years old. And it's got
14,700 miles. Yeah.
How many hours does our machine have on it?
Actually, I was surprised at this because our hours is only 3,889. So I was surprised. I thought it would be more than that. We have 39,375 miles on it. And with this specific sweeper, they've gone through, replaced all the conveyor belts and the brooms new, the rubber shrouds on the bottom are new. They kind of went through everything, replaced all the hoses.
Right. I guess my thinking is, and that's just mine, by the time this thing's paid for, it's gonna need a lot of that stuff.
Well, that's very possible, but
We're gonna start dumping money into it by the time it's paid for, whether it be cores or that's just a normal wear item. Do we know what that other sweeper cost us per year since we bought it?
Our current one,
Yeah.
it just, I mean, I don't have an average. This year, I don't think we put anything into it. Last year, we put maybe
that's why we got waiting
3,000.
basically for tonight, if whatever your decision is to either get it all fixed up or ship it out. So yeah, we don't have anything into it this year yet.
And last year, we had a little bit into it, but maybe 1,500 or something. And then in 2014, we had the 10,000 into it.
So minus the water tank, if we fixed a few hoses and put a new core,
New brooms, shield, hoses, and then the drive on the gutter broom, which goes out every year, it seems like. Fix that. It always seems to the shear pins are always going out on it. That might be just too much pressure.
pushing too hard on the
Yeah.
curb.
I think that water tank is kind of important too.
Oh, yeah.
And when it comes to this, these pieces of equipment are not cheap.
No, they're
If
not.
you buy cheap, you have what we have.
Are you saying ours is cheap?
Yeah.
Well, we've had a lot of years.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They put in, yeah.
Where is this machine located?
Minneapolis, I believe.
Did you look at it?
No, it's something that if you guys were to approve it, we'd look at it, and if we didn't want it, we wouldn't get it.
Because for that price, I would think we could find, you know, if you didn't think it was, I think there's quite a few of them out there for that kind of money.
Hopefully. They're kind of hard to find, like for the Pelican, that's basically, you see Pelicans everywhere. That's basically what all cities and towns use. And there's only, well, the Elgin Pelican, sorry. There's only one dealer in Minnesota, and that's McLean out of Minneapolis, or St. Paul.
St. Paul.
St. Paul, yeah.
Would we want, I know this is getting out here, but would we want Trent to take a trip? Go look at that thing? I mean,
I want Paul to take a trip and look at it.
Well, I guess there's no knowing how long they're gonna have this for, but
right,
But, yeah, if we decide to go this way, equipment comes up, but still, I don't know. Is it worth continuing to put money into the old one?
oh, for 60,000, you can do a lot of fixing.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think we can squeeze the water tank
Do they,
in though.
well, I mean, these machines haven't really changed a lot over the years. How can a person get a new water tank with that?
There was at one point, they were gonna put one in, but they didn't find it cost effective. I don't know the exact reason why they didn't, but they had talked about it at one point. They were thinking about doing it, but they didn't.
Probably when we heard the price on it.
Well, it could be, I don't know what it would run.
And if you could get a used,
Well,
do we need more research on here, or? What's your thoughts on it, Paul?
Just trying to think if I could be able to get and look at it.
At the one we have here, or?
Both of them, maybe.
Yeah. Well, your opinion would be valuable on this kind of
I mean,
thing.
you take one day during the week, him and Trent, take the city truck, you go down there, take a look at it. Nothing like seeing it, you know.
Yeah, you hate just to spend
Right,
that
sight
kind of
unseen,
money.
I mean, a picture doesn't mean
Is
nothing.
there any type of warranty on this?
That was something I was gonna call about today, and I did not. I forgot about it.
Well,
And the guy calls me about 3 times a day, so I actually did talk to him. I forgot about the warranty.
I'll tell you what, I'll make a motion that if Paul and Kent want to, Paul can find the time, make a trip down to St. Paul and check out this piece of machinery for the city.
Find out about what kind of warranty it has on it
Yeah.
and just get the information you want before you go look.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You can get together with Trent then, Paul, and you got some free time, which I know is very rare, but
Maybe it'll rain next week.
It's been raining all year. Especially when they said it's supposed to be a dry summer.
Yeah.
Purchase it and if they go down and look at it, then it's what we would want.
okay.
We
And
want them to have the authority then to make the,
I'll add to the motion that if it checks out as a good machine, that they'll have the authority to kind of make a commitment to the machine and come back here and let Diana know.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Anything else, Trent?
No, that's it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to fire and ambulance.
Good evening.
Hi, Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Got quite a few items I want to get tonight. First off, I'd like to see if we can get a motion to hire Paul Peterson, Laura Peterson, and Tanya Erickson into the fire department as well.
Okay. Tanya's on the ambulance
Only.
and
She's
this
been
would be
around
all
with-
new for Paul, right?
Paul's a returning.
Oh, okay.
Both their background checks came back, no issues at all. Paul was a member with us for a while, couldn't dedicate the time that we were asking for. Life has gotten a little bit easier for him.
Okay.
Both him and Laura were both first responders, were right out of college,
Okay.
so kind of in contact with them. And with Tanya going to the fireside, a lot of the times we're the only two in town, so if there's a fire call, she's coming to help me anyway, so might as well make it legit.
Can I have a motion?
Make the motion to hire Paul and Tanya to the fire department.
And Laura?
Oh, and Laura, sorry.
Support.
Now, all three have passed the background check?
There's no issues with any of them.
Okay.
Yep, we're actually, brings me on to the next subject. I've already been in contact with a lot of them.
All in favor?
Sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Ted.
All right, that brings me to the second part of it, is to give you guys a heads up of what's coming down the pipeline. With all the new people that we're getting, all the training's gonna be coming too. So we, yeah, exactly, giving you a heads up. We are gonna be pushing the EMS side of stuff, but we have those that are already in the EMS, either as a EMR or a EMT, that are gonna be going for their firefighter 1, firefighter 2, which there's a good handful of us that have it, but there's still a few that we need to get through that process. So just kind of a heads up that it's coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
Fire boxes, knock boxes. We had that fire call, we didn't have a key for the library. Josh has placed the order. He's getting 4 of them coming. They're about $130 a piece. As we see whoever needs one, they'll give us $130 towards our account. We'll give them a box, we can get it mounted on their building. We actually sent in for the key request now, there's gonna be a key in every single rig, so we don't have to go back because it's supposed to be in the ambulance or it's supposed to be in this. Right now, we were limited with keys.
Right.
That is changing as of a fax just before the meeting, so.
Right.
So I'm giving you a heads up on that one as well. Daytime crew, keeping busy, not a lot of calls right now. With that, we're looking at possibly doing some more things in the hall, some more painting with inside the hall. Last year, I do believe we painted the outside of the new hall. This year, we're trying to do some more stuff on the inside to brighten it up. With all these trainings, we're trying to host as much as we can. We are kind of centrally located.
So it is a preferred spot. Matter of fact, the EMT class last year, which I think we had one person in, they came over and used our building when the college had to be closed. So instead of canceling class that night, they just moved it over to Buhl. So they've done that a couple times with us. So just trying to make it look a little bit more and get it up to date a little bit and doing that. The other thing with that is, they're keeping busy over there, and if there's any questions on what they're doing during the day, let me know. I'll get you a sheet. We have a chore sheet. They keep going pretty much nonstop. They have a list of taking care of the rigs to taking care of janitorial. I can't, Trent's not here and nothing against the city, but our lawn, I think, looks great every single week. It's top notch. So, we're trying to take care of ourselves and trying to take a little burden off of the city crew. So let me know if there's anything you need on that, and
I
I will
think you
definitely
guys are
get you.
doing a great job over there.
Excellent.
When you're talking about these vehicles and things, I kind of forgot to write this one down, but I did write it down because I wanted to give you a heads up that I am looking at speccing another truck, engine, Class A pumper. We have a 1976 as our backup rig. It's not always the reliablest vehicle out there. Right now we're just shopping. We're seeing what's out there. Pierce has a local rep that is a member of the local fire department around here. And we're just looking to see what's out there right now and trying to see what kind of ballpark figure it's gonna come to with what we want for the basics. We don't want the bells and whistles. We just want basics to be able to pull up to a scene and start shooting water as fast as we can. So just giving you a heads up again. So we're doing this. We have to start looking at that stuff. The reason this was brought up is because I have to meet with a certain individual from the state for our ISO rating and go over some of that stuff. So Josh is gone for a little while on vacation, so I get to have the joys of that myself. So the other thing that we're gonna ask for is as of right now, this moment, we are 4 EMTs out of town. Coming this weekend, we are going to be down 5 EMTs and a dedicated first responder. We are starting to get to the point where we're hurting on our weekend coverage. We need help. What I'm asking for is an emergency situation, which Josh or myself deem as an emergency, is that we could reach out to our daytime staff who do not live in the area, that we could call them in at $4 an hour and help us give us 24-hour coverage that we're looking for. The weeks, we're usually pretty good on. I mean, during the week, it's hard. It's very, very hard. The weekends are very hard to cover. And all we're asking for is just for Josh and I to be able to say, we're at that point. And of course, Josh and I don't make a decision usually by ourselves. We always talk it through. Yep, here's what we got. We're in a situation, let's reach out, let's try to reach out to our daytime staff and get somebody in here.
That sounds reasonable.
So, and then to go a little bit further in that would be $4 an hour. Then they would get the call, if there was a call, so they'd get our normal call. We would work a little close with Diana on that situation. She'd be well aware of it in advance. Of course, we can't do it last second unless a family emergency comes up, then it's gonna be last second, we don't have a choice.
So Ted, you said that this would be people who don't live in town. Would they be coming here and staying over?
Yes, they would stay over.
And then
They'd stay over.
$4 an hour, they're gonna be here to take the calls?
I gotta really tread lightly on this, because what about our daytime people that are here every single weekend? Or what about our hometown people that are here every weekend?
Right.
And don't get a chance to leave town because they're covering the calls on the weekend again, or covering the hall.
Yeah.
So it's a very fine subject. Josh is gonna touch down that base once we get some more numbers together.
Well, I guess my question was mainly, are you bringing these outside people, are they gonna stay here? Or do
Yes.
they take calls from their homes where they live?
They cannot.
They can't, so they will be here.
Yes, the reason why they're not on our department and they're only, I shouldn't say that, how do I put this? The people that live inside of our area, we're having a problem covering those weekend calls, or just covering, in case there is a call.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we know that we have some of our paid on-call staff, some that live in One lives in Cook, another one lives in Chisholm, another one, they're all over the place.
Okay.
And we'd say, hey, are you available this week? And we're shorthanded from this time to this time. Yeah, I can come in. Perfect. Here you come in. EMT and a first responder minimum.
Right.
No different than what we would follow our state rules. And one of the things that we would do is then, if there was a call during that time where those guys were signed up, we would not travel with a third person unless it was a major cardiac or a major heart or a major breathing. Then it deems 3 people need to go. Sometimes we run with 4. We've run with 5 before because if we had a major cardiac arrest. But what myself and some others have done, and I won't say names, is that we know that if it's not an emergency call, we're still only gonna send 2 people, even though we got up and we went over there. Yeah, you 2 go, fine. We'll go back home, we'll go back to sleep. But we're trying to save money as much as we can on these calls. We're trying to get that piggy bank built up so we can probably help offset some of this type of stuff. Some of the money that we're looking at for this is the 4th of July. Nobody signed up, no one got paid the daytime coverage rate, but we had coverage. We made sure we had coverage. So there's like 1 day already. And then we've also reached out to Kinney and to Kinney Great Scott Fire Department, and they've already donated towards us. So, the money can come out of that. But the biggest thing on this is that Josh and I have free reign and say, yep, we're in an emergency situation. We need to do this.
Well, we'd have to depend on you guys. It's not like there's a lot of time to decide when these things come up sometimes too, so.
Exactly, and that's kind of like, well, we got to get city approval, or we can get in trouble. We just don't want to have that hanging over our head, We just want to be able to say, we're in a situation, we made a judgment call, we're going to move forward with it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we allow Josh and Ted to make the decision for the weekend people.
Support.
Any further discussion?
I have a question. You're gonna pay them $4 on the weekend, and do you think that
For an hour.
An hour? Do you think you'll get anybody?
Yes, I already have people I've talked to a couple already. That is actually better than one of the wages that's out there already.
Okay.
And that's for 7 days a week at one place.
I just, remember.
Well, I guess.
Last time when we ended up upping it because it didn't.
Well, I agree with you on that. I mean, I really wanted to come in here and ask for 5. But I tried to back off a little bit because I know where discussions are gonna go down the road here, what we're looking for next.
Right.
Our next steps.
Well, let's see how this works for you guys. We can always revisit it too.
I mean, we're in a situation this weekend already. I mean, we're at that point.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed, motion carried.
And then the other thing that we just want to kind of put out there is that hopefully some people will watch this on the television, and is that if there's any questions with what we're doing down here, let us know. We aren't making money hand over fist. We aren't. We are trying to survive. With what we're doing, even if you looked at Virginia right now is hiring. And if you notice what they're hiring is an EMT salary is $31,200. That's full-time. A paramedic is making $34,300. There is not money in this.
No.
They do not get rich doing this type of stuff. So,
Joining the ranks of our soldiers
well,
and law enforcement. Not the highest paid jobs, but certainly the necessary.
everybody does it for their own reason.
Yeah,
So,
and they're honorable, and we thank you for that.
Thank you for.
do you guys have any questions for me?
Not at this time.
No, you boggled our minds.
You've given us plenty to think about, Ted.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney, Todd, do you have anything?
I have nothing right, no.
Okay. Long Range Planning and Zoning. Right. Recreation Board will probably have a meeting next Monday.
Next Monday.
After our beach blast, that's on Thursday down at the beach, starting at
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, so come and have some fun and hot dogs. Vita, end of the month, sheriffs, we've got the sheriff report. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No. Want me to go over it, or?
If you'd like to.
Okay. July 2016, calls in Buhl, total call activity for year-to-date is 616. July, we had 96 new calls. The number of those calls that were handled by Deputy Thorne was 45, and then the other hitting deputies handled the remaining 51. He also had 39 other activities or assist other agencies or traffic stops out of the Buhl Kinney area. The only thing I've noticed is it sounds like after the Wasabi Academy closed down, they're having some issues. There was some vandalism. I had 2 calls on that.
Yes.
And then I think they had a burglary. It wasn't a burglary, but somebody had gone in the building. But my understanding is that they hired their staff back to work security. So.
They're aware and remedying that situation.
Yeah, so mine was easy unless you have anything else.
That's it, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clerk's report?
I spoke with Neil Schumacher from MnDOT regarding the speed limit of 15 miles per hour at South Memorial. We cannot change it to 15, it's gotta be 30, but he said we could put up advisory signs. And we do have signs saying, slow down, children at play or whatever, so we do have those signs that we can put up.
Those are the kind of signs that
We can
don't
still
get...
put the signs up.
We can-
It's just the
right.
enforcement part of it is.
Exactly, but yeah, we're not allowed to change it on a city street to 15 miles per hour.
Which is really strange.
That is absolutely...
So much for local.
You can change like the speed limit in an alley or a parking lot, but not on a city street. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. The roof leaked about a week and a half ago when we had that big storm when it was coming from the west. The beams were saturated. Trent and Dan took a look at it. We had a guy come in and take a look at it, and we're just waiting for a proposal from him on what he thinks needs to be done and what it would cost. So that's where we're at. Like today when it rained, it didn't leak. And the other day when it rained, it didn't leak because it was straight down.
Right.
So it just seems to be something coming from the west.
We're getting closer to finding.
We are getting closer. We'll pin this down.
Really good.
The manhole will be replaced in a week.
Oh, good.
Good.
I talked to Joey last Thursday and he said he'll be here in a week to replace that manhole.
That'll make the folks happy.
Yeah, get that out of their yard. The Bernie Hagen's site, I've talked with the DNR. They are working with contractors right now to get estimates to remove all of this stuff and to demo the house. So that's where that process is at. We did our public accuracy testing at the senior center yesterday for the primary election. We have to test all of our voting equipment. So we did that, Terry and I. And then tomorrow I'll be attending a grant workshop at the IRRB because they have a new system for grant applications. It's all online and new software, so I'll be going there for training from 9 to 12 tomorrow.
And all of our voting equipment is working fine.
Yes, yes, everything's working. So that's all I have.
We've been busy.
Did we hear from the county on them potholes?
No.
Okay, then we'll
They're
take
not.
up the Trent and we'll
Yeah, take care of it here. Yeah, we don't need to wait any longer on that one.
No.
Yeah, they're terrible. Okay. Council additions to the agenda? I don't think we have any tonight. Citizens Forum, does anybody wish to speak to the council? Yes?
Hi folks, I'm Joe Windsor, I'm maintenance over at the Academy. I must have missed, there was something about the Academy on the agenda, I missed it tonight, or?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard some local, you guys had something going on.
Well, we were gonna
About
just
the
mention
future.
about the Academy tonight, later in the agenda. Is that what you're here for then?
Yeah, well, I came down to kind of check you guys out, actually, I've never been to a city council meeting.
Okay.
Very interesting, yeah. I'll just update with James next time down the line here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to see you here, Joe.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Consent agenda, minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of July 19th.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
Make a motion to accept the total claims of $29,131 46, and also, do we have to include in that one, Diana, that,
That's included in there.
that's included?
Yeah, in the total,
Okay.
yep.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Agenda item C&B warehouse.
Thanks, Tom.
Phil Troutwine. I think I jumped the gun a little early last week on that request. It ends up we don't need it. We've been told by the bank, well, it was one of those things where you weren't really sure whether it was going to show up or not, and apparently it's okay. So we thought the bank was going to meet last week. They're meeting tomorrow to give us an answer. Talked to the contractor. They're working on the contract to, of course, to sign. We've got the other contracts out and money. I mean, move as fast as we can. And if I told maybe what I could do every couple of weeks, just send a note over. If somebody wants to talk to me, they can, or kind of send a note over where we're at on this thing. That's all I can do. We've got the lead time ordering the tanks is about 6 weeks. We've got those ordered now. Canopy, I think, is quicker. The building is about
As long as the
90
bank,
days.
if the bank approves it tomorrow, it'll be, they say 2 to 3 weeks to do the title work and the appraisal of the land, and we can't do anything. So after that, or in the interim, the contractors, everything would be ordered. The tanks were actually ordered like 2 or 3 weeks ago, or were put into place. So, I mean, from talking with the contractor, we'd estimate a start date right after Labor Day. And
I was gonna say 1st of September. we're not talking
Yeah,
about that.
well, in the meantime, they can, we'll have the working drawings and stuff, and they can come for the permits. And
we can't touch the land until,
Well, they don't want us to touch that land until the title.
No.
Right,
for whatever reason.
right.
So, but yeah,
How were you able to get surveyors on that land then? To survey it?
I did it 2 years
we did
ago.
it 2 years ago. Already paid for it.
Probably, I hope nothing's changed. There's a couple trees down there we're gonna cut.
Okay.
All right.
So I think we're,
Well, then you have to keep in touch with us then, and
yeah, I think it'd probably be best if I don't want to go through another meeting like the last one, so I'll just kind of keep you apprised of where we're at. And I guess if the bank says they won't do it, then we'll just give you the.
We don't get it.
I guess.
Yeah.
The area, I mean, they don't see.
But they've told us, we don't see any problem.
all the
You know,
business, I'm sure all the business you've done with banks and the stores that you have, I don't think you're gonna have a problem.
I don't know, I don't. You never know when you get the owner.
Never
of the
know.
bank.
Yeah.
These days, you never know.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll,
nice.
ought to see some activity over there within a month.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's off the agenda.
Already discussed this week, our maintenance of effort we get every year from the state to determine from past aid 2011 what we spent on the library. They expect 90% of that for this coming year, which would be $71,977.
That's a budget item coming up.
Right. So,
It's the same amount as the previous 2
do we
years.
need to approve this or?
Yes.
Okay.
We do,
I'll make a motion to approve the maintenance of effort of $71,977 for 2017.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right. This is the, energy vendors for AEOA.
Yes.
For the upcoming heating season.
Correct.
I'll make a motion, we accept the agreement for the energy assistance vendor.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And this is our update on the kids' piece. What we have for information at this point.
Right.
And it's mostly just an FYI. I think you put it in here as not really something we were going to do a lot of discussing about. We did have a conference call with Kids Peace out east and Paul up here. From the IRRB, we had
Matt.
and Diana and I were on the call. and we discussed the future of the academy, and they had a few ideas, and we were wondering about the future. I mean, IRRB had contacted them, letting them know that they might be able to help, so they were looking to see what kind of help, and it sounds like what the IRRB is interested in helping with is marketing. They want to see that building get used. And of course, we do too, and I think Kids Peace does too. I think we're all on that same page. Just how we get it going again, we're not quite sure. It's still in Mesabi Academy's ballpark, so we're waiting to hear back from them. It sounded like they were ready to start negotiating, maybe moving out of the building and letting the city market it, but they're kind of taking a step back from that idea, so I don't know if they've got more interest in people who may want to use it or not. We don't really know.
We have another call next Tuesday,
With the Mesabi.
Okay.
No,
No, with an interested, we may
No.
have some.
I think you were thinking the conference call that we had, because, oh yes, we do, I'm sorry. I'm a week,
Election day, we have.
yes, you're right, I'm a week behind.
Yes, so we'll be
Yes.
talking with them next week, Tuesday as well.
Okay, yeah, that's at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Same time.
Yeah. So
Yes, for an update.
that's
Sorry.
where we're at with that. That's just kind of an FYI. I know the public,
Hurry up and wait.
I hear about it all the time. Everyone in town is curious. Our largest employer went out with very little notice. It was a tragic thing for our community and for all the employees up there. A horrible thing. And we want to see it up and running as soon as possible, so anything that we can do to help see that happen, we want to do. So that's it. Anybody have any other comments? All right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. This meeting's adjourned.